Good afternoon, this is Todd VanDeHey with FinanceTruth.net. What I want to talk to you about today is a little bit about optimization and a little bit about levels of sophistication. The idea here, that's a lot of syllables, but I'll try and break it down for you. The idea here is that what the correct solution is for you may not be the same as it is for me or for someone else. Everybody has their own correct solution to a situation, especially financially. And that has to deal with where they're coming from, what their situation is, what their knowledge base is, those sorts of things. So normally I'll stick to the world of investing, but in this case I'm going to talk about personal finance because it's a better example or an easier example to understand for this concept. And I'll start with sort of a personal example, which is I was talking to a friend of mine who is, she's a college student, and she was very proud of herself because she was saying, I don't have any credit cards, I pay for everything in cash, so I haven't run into any debt. And that's actually really admirable from a certain perspective. Compared to the average American consumer who's swamped in credit card debt, that's incredibly positive. And in fact, most people who teach personal finance, that's one of the first things they'll say is like, cut up your credit cards. And to a certain extent, that's true. To a certain extent, that's good advice because it keeps you out of trouble. It keeps you out of those negative situations. It helps you keep money from working against you, right? But it's not actually optimal because by not having a credit card, she's not building credit, she's not building the opportunity to obtain financing for things later in life. Also, she's not getting points or miles or other credit card offers, free, essentially interest-free loans you can get from credit cards, various things like that. So the next level of sophistication might be to have credit cards and actually deal with them properly, and then to get some bonus points and some miles and optimize a bit further, build up some credit so that eventually if you want to buy a house, you want to get loans, you can do those sorts of things, and that would be even more optimal. So for the person who's having trouble with credit card debt, chopping up the credit cards is totally optimal. For the person who's responsible, having the credit cards but keeping it within a reasonable range is responsible, and maybe just using the benefits that they have. And then the next level would be if you can actually really leverage yourself, you're a good investor, you might even just take credit, or you might take loans even, and even pay interest on loans if you can do better with the money. So the key concept here is the concept of not letting money work against you and having it work in your favor, but the actual manifestation of that is going to be different for different people in different situations, and that's going to depend on your level of sophistication. Same thing is true in the world of investing when you talk about the idea of leverage. For a typical investor, I would encourage generally not using leverage or using extremely minimal leverage because leverage can hurt you. And leverage is neither good nor bad, it's just a tool. But it comes with its benefits and rewards, and if you don't understand them, you don't know how to use them, you're likely to hurt yourself with leverage. But if you know how to use it properly, you're likely to use it well and actually profit from it. And so again, it depends on your level of sophistication. And even as you get sophisticated, you can hurt yourself with certain tools if you misuse them. Take the credit crisis that we had recently, the Wall Street financial collapse, housing, all that stuff. Why was that? It's because a lot of people over-leveraged themselves in various ways without understanding the assets they were getting involved with. Does that mean that leverage is inherently bad? No. It just means that it was misused in that circumstance. So the key point I want to get across to you is that there's no such thing as like the right or wrong decision. Actually, there are some decisions that are just stupid, but what's the right decision for one person might not be the right decision for another person. It depends on your own personal situation. It depends on your own personal understanding of the situation. It depends on your other opportunities available to you. One other thing I would say with the credit example I gave at the start is I said that it might be worthwhile to use the credit to get free loans, to have money to invest, that sort of thing. I did that for a while, and I actually made quite a good amount of money doing that. However, I realized at a certain point that the amount of time I was spending managing it, my hourly rate was better spent somewhere else. So that's another way of looking at it. That's another further level of sophistication, is not only looking at whether that investment is good, but looking at the opportunity cost of other investments you could make with that money or with your time. Time being an even more valuable resource most times than money. Okay, so that's just a little synopsis. Kind of used a few different examples from different ideas or different areas, but I hope it made sense to you. I hope it was a little bit enlightening, and I hope it opens your eyes to the idea that there is no necessarily right or wrong solution to a situation. It depends on your individual situation, it depends on the other opportunities available to you, and it depends on your level of sophistication and knowledge and how well you're able to get in and out of the situation and what you can do with money when it's given to you. So that's it for now. I'm signing off till next time.